Welcome to today's Explainer. We're looking at a truly fascinating contradiction that is literally sitting right there in the palm of your hand. Think about the modern era for a second. We've never had more tools at our disposal to reach out, to ping, message, and just broadcast our lives to thousands of people all at once. Most of us, we're checking our phones dozens of times a day just to feel in the loop, right? We are absolutely swimming in a sea of modern connectivity. But here's the thing. We're also beginning to see the profound impact this massive level of access is having on our psychology. Because, we're wired to want social interaction, yet the very tools designed to give it to us on a massive scale, well, they seem to be causing a really strange kind of friction in our daily lives. There's a central mystery here about how our minds operate when they're exposed to these limitless digital networks.
It's a pretty simple question, but I really want you to think about it for a second. Does being connected actually make you feel connected? We spend hours scrolling, liking, sharing, yet so many of us walk away from our screens feeling just strangely empty. You might have thousands of followers or be part of dozens of groups, but does that actually translate into genuine, fulfilling human connection? Okay, let's dive into this, because the source material we're unpacking today introduces a concept that completely flips our understanding of digital life right on its head. Section 1. The Facebook Paradox. A modern contradiction. So we've all been sold this deeply ingrained modern assumption, right? This idea that more network access basically equals a better, more socially fulfilled life. We just assume that if we're not on the major platforms, we're totally missing out on the news, the inside jokes, our friends' big milestones. But what if that assumption is fundamentally flawed? And that brings us to the core definition. The Facebook paradox is the phenomenon where choosing not to use major social platforms can actually lead to a richer life. And to be clear, this isn't just about taking some brief weekend digital detox. No, it's recognizing that stepping away from major networks yields these totally unexpected positive results. We expect to feel isolated when we unplug, but the paradox reveals that disconnecting is the exact mechanism that unlocks a richer, more vibrant existence. But to really understand why this happens, we have to look closely at what these platforms are actually doing to our brains. Section 2. The mechanisms of drain. Psychological exhaustion. Because when you are plugged into these major networks, your brain is just working in constant overdrive. You are carrying a buzzing, flashing, incredibly demanding digital environment in your pocket every single second of the day. It creates this baseline level of psychological exhaustion that we have just completely normalized. And this brilliantly illustrates the two primary psychological traps causing all this strain. First, constant notifications. Every single ping, every endless red notification badge, even that weird phantom buzz you feel in your pocket when your phone hasn't actually gone off. It completely fragments your focus. You're continually pulled out of your actual reality and forced to attend to the digital one. Second, social comparison. You aren't just communicating anymore. You are constantly evaluating your real, everyday, messy life against the highly curated, polished vacation highlights of everyone else's. Together, these constant notifications and social comparisons act as massive psychological drains, just siphoning away your mental energy. Section 3. The shift in connection. A deliberate choice. If we can actually recognize the trap, the sheer exhaustion of these platforms, we can deliberately pivot. We can take a deep breath, moving away from that frantic, reactionary state of digital overload to a much more calm, intentional choice about how we actually want to interact with the world around us. Let's move to and see how this builds. On one side, we have quantity in interactions. That's the sheer volume of superficial platform engagement. Hundreds of likes, dozens of brief, thoughtless comments. It's loud, but it's incredibly shallow. On the other side, we have this deep human desire for quality over quantity. The source material highlights that when people take a step back from the massive networks, they are actively choosing deeper, more meaningful connections. They're trading 1,000 shallow digital nods for just one profound, uninterrupted, real-world conversation. Section 4. The payoff. The tangible reward. Because trading quantity for quality sounds really nice in theory, right? But when you deliberately change your relationship with major platforms, what is the actual tangible reward you get in return? So the crucial point is, it comes down to protecting your attention. This is the absolute ultimate psychological benefit highlighted in our source material. Think about it. Attention is your most valuable resource. It's literally how you experience the world, how you solve problems, how you connect with the real people sitting right in front of you. When you shield your focus from the constant notifications and that endless, toxic cycle of social comparison, you reclaim your mind.
You aren't just saving time here, you are actively protecting your cognitive bandwidth. Let's walk through the logical flow of how this all actually fits together, step by step. First, you make the active choice to disconnect from major platforms, basically opting out of the paradox entirely. By doing that, step 2, you automatically escape the relentless notifications and the heavy burden of social comparison. Without those drains, step 3, you naturally protect your attention, keeping your mental energy completely intact. And finally, step 4, with your attention protected, you can truly prioritize the quality of your interactions. You finally have the mental space to just be present. It's like a domino effect. Each step leads naturally and inevitably to the next.
Section 5. Living a richer life. The ultimate promise. We started off by questioning if connectivity actually equals fulfillment, and we've traced exactly why stepping away provides the mental clarity we all so desperately crave. It completely reframes the whole narrative. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is this exact quote. Choosing not to use major social platforms can actually lead to a richer life. Intentional disconnection is not a social loss. Actually, scratch that. It's more like a profound personal gain. By stepping away from the superficial noise, the constant pings, the exhausting comparisons, you aren't emptying your life out. No, you are making room to fill it up with things of actual substance, high-quality interactions, fiercely protected attention, a genuinely richer life.
Which leaves us with a final, lingering thought to consider today. Is your digital connection costing you a richer life? It's a paradox for sure, but the evidence is staring us right in the face. The very tools promising to bring us the whole world might just be the exact things keeping us from truly experiencing it. So take a moment today to evaluate where your attention is going and ask yourself if it's finally time to choose quality over quantity. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you in the next one.